Hi everybody, welcome back to those who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those who are new to my channel. I'm Adele Levine and this is Jem. I'm the intuitive and medium, and today's video is, are cats psychic or are they empathic? This cat might be, because she does not want to be, look, she does not want to be a part of this. She knows. So I wanted to do something a little different. Do I have like cat hair? Obviously she didn't want to be on camera. She's obviously psychic or empathic because she didn't want to be seen. And so I'm going to let her go and let her do her thing. She's actually staring me down as we speak. So yeah, I wanted to do this video. This wasn't something that kind of came from like a deep feeling place that I tend to do these videos on. This actually came from like, I don't know, a whimsical place. I was looking at the animals and my cats, and this is a question that comes up a lot. And also I'm doing a class next month, so look for it, on how to communicate with your animals who have passed. I do communicate with animals that have passed, but I also feel connected to animals, you know, that are here in this world. I don't really advertise on my website or anything. I have done a video on communicating with animals that have passed. You can watch that video. I don't really advertise it because I kind of stay in my lane on the sense of there are people who just strictly specialize in spirit communication and even communicating with animals that are here in this world. And that's what they specialize in. And it's not my specialty, but definitely is something I'm tuned into and can tune into. So obviously animals are definitely empathic, and they can sense and they can feel. They have their sixth senses. They're definitely more in tune to their sixth senses. I have a sister has a dog she's deaf and blind, and she definitely can deal with the world in a unique way. Probably because of her sense of smell, but also I think there's a sixth sense. However, I want to get into the difference between the idea of psychic and empathic. Are dogs and cats predicting what is going to happen to you in the future? Will they bring the love of your life to you? Will they know what job you're going to get? No. However, what I've learned from animals on the other side, and I'm going to make it clear, I am not the animal spokesperson. I am not sitting here before you vegan or any of those things, which is why when I could feel and hear animals, especially those who've passed, why do you guys tell me things and why have you chosen me? Because I'm not the poster child for this, or the one you would think would be picked. I was raised vegetarian, but I was raised vegetarian. My cats are active, as you can hear. More based on religion than I was in my family based on the belief of animal protection. So it's not like I'm trying to I am not that person. And I do feel that people who want to talk to their animals, either who have passed or are here, probably maybe want a representation of someone like that, which I totally respect and understand. However, what I've come to understand on an energy level and on an empathic level is really kind of where animals come from. Animals are true empaths. We toss the term around going, I've discovered I'm an empath and this is who I am. And I think if you are empathetic and you feel a lot for people and it affects you, great, because then you are a human being that has deep feelings. I'm grateful that you're in this world. But that is not truly what an empath is. Empathic is becoming and seeing the world according to that person's, their view, not your empathy and understanding of what they're feeling, but literally as Joe. So if Joe is someone who walks a certain way, talks a certain way, thinks a certain way, sees the world a certain way, that is how you're going to see it. You're not going to see it from an empathetic feeling for Joe and what they're going through. No. And that's what I don't think people understand. There's a huge difference, and it is tossed around a lot. And sometimes it's used as an excuse to be too overwhelmed and you can't deal with things. And this isn't the way we should use empathic. Animals truly become you, and this is what they've taught me. They aren't being psychic in the sense that they're predicting your future and seeing things that are laying ahead. but they're so in tune to you and who you are, and they see the world according to you, and they actually take on parts of you. Meaning if you're nervous and you have underlying anxiety and things like this, they actually may become that way too. If you're someone who's kind of more recluse and you need to be left alone, they come that way too. Are they affected as animals? Like, are they being affected by the world? Do they have their own experiences that have maybe affected them? Of course. Yes, that's true. But they are able to handle it in a way we don't understand. So if you are helping an animal that has gone through some trauma, of course you're going to see that trauma. But if you're someone who's gone through that trauma, they're going to feel your trauma and take it on as well. They do it in a deeper way than we ever tend to understand. The only way I understand is that when I'm reading, I jump into that person's energy and I see a world according to your eyes, particularly your eyes, not the way Adela hopes to see or tries to understand or empathizes to see, but literally the way you take in the world. That is how I see things. And that is the way they see things. So they see it even on a purer level than me. Can they see the other realm, the spirit realm? I believe most animals do. Some animals are a little bit highly affected, and what I mean by that is they see the spirit realm and they react to it and they let you know and they almost kind of try to communicate it to you. But are they seeing it in a way that's like, more or less than us? I definitely feel that they're seeing it more. Some animals are more than others. Some are trying to kind of connect you and get you to know something's going on. And sometimes it's just normal part of way of life. Just a normal day, just having this spirit pop up here, seeing that spirit pop up there. For animals, it is a given that they see that realm. Does that make sense? So what I mean by that is that they're always seeing that realm. It is not a surprise to them. They see that realm, and that's why death isn't really fearful for them. They don't fear death because they know they're shedding this and moving into this other realm. They definitely are in tune to the spirit world because it is part of this world. So if you ever question, is the spirit world a part of this world? Well, look at animals. It is, because to them, it is a normal part of our world. They are operating on a frequency. So frequency is an important key. Vibration and frequency, because they can sense and sometimes even hear a frequency we don't, they are connecting in that kind of way. But are they sitting there putting out a prediction of your life and foreseeing what is coming for you, which is more of a psychic vibe? No. They aren't seeing futures. They're not seeing possible futures and going, oh, I know this is happening. They do on the other side once they pass, but not here. But are they tuning into you 100% and tuning into the energy around them and tuning into the people? Can they see through people's BS? Yes. Are they like, I'm sizing this one up and I'm going to be able to see right through who they are? Kind of like in the Matrix, the Oracle. Yeah, I would say animals are like that. They can see through people. It's a little bit different though than seeing your future. So I wanted to kind of emphasize understanding that your animal is seeing right through you, whether you realize it or not. They may be just mirroring and reflecting to you what you need and what you may not be noticing. For instance, like in a relationship, maybe you meet someone and you're like, I don't know, they seem to kind of like always have a weird feeling about that person. If they're having a weird feeling about the person, it could be them seeing right through them. Or it could also be your feelings that you're not sure about and the things you're struggling with. They're picking up on, absorbing it, and reflecting it back. So don't just assume that animals are like 100% going, oh, they don't like you, so therefore you must be bad. There could be something, your intuition and your senses inside of you is sensing about someone, but you're just not facing it. And I feel animals are actually very good mirrors a lot of the time. They're kind of sticking that mirror in front of you and making you look at things, not only about yourself, but even about your life. And I feel that that is what they do when it comes to psychic or empathic ways. They are kind of doing a little deep dive into you and your life and reflecting it back to you. And so that's why sometimes people will feel animals heal them. Obviously, we have all kinds of emotional support. It's got a little crazy. We're even having like emotional support flamingo. No, we're not. But we're having all kinds of interesting emotional support animals. There's a reason why people are feeling that way. It is because they are reflecting something you need. They kind of know what you need and they provide it. So it is not to say they're psychic, but they are definitely tuned in a way that we tend to not rely on. We rely on, verbal cues and physical cues, and we rely on emotions, where animals rely completely on another sixth sense. I feel their sixth sense is 100% sharp. Obviously, they have, depending on the animal, can have amazing sight, smell, and sound and hear things. But they do sense vibration. So if you look at, if there's something coming, all the animals are quiet, and the earth is, they sense those vibrations coming. Here in California, earthquakes, you'll see like suddenly it's really quiet. The birds aren't chirping, your animals are kind of hiding. You take note of that because they sense the shift of the vibration about to happen. So they aren't predicting, but they are tuning in, if that makes sense. They are tuning into frequency. Oh, and she's tuning into, ever since I brought her in front of the camera, she's like probably sensing, hey, she wanted me a part of this video, so here I am. But she's not going to let me pick her up again. So when you are dealing with your animals, kind of take cues from them about yourself, about the other side, and even about other people. But don't leave it all on them. They are not here to carry everything for us. They're not here to do our work for us. They're merely here as guides and helpfulness in that sort of way. But they have their own things they're experiencing as well. They're not just here for us only. They are a big part of what they do is for us, but it's not 100%. They are experiencing the world as well. And she's experiencing a few things. She doesn't normally do this in my videos, which is a perfect example. I feel she, me holding her, obviously she gets the cue that this is about her and about her, her peeps. So she's like, hey, guess I might as well just stick around and do my thing. She can sense it. I feel that when you are around animals, whether yours or not, I have a high respect for the power of many of them, and I feel that honoring them, and it's not a feeling of just protection, it's understanding their world and how they interact and what they do and how they do things, is the idea of respecting who they are. And with that cue, I hope that makes sense. So it's not to say that they're psychic, but it is to say that they pick up on, to me, telepathic communication 100%. And telepathic communication isn't psychic. It's more of the knowing, like what they discovered, how dolphins can communicate through language, but also how whales communicate through more kind of a sonar psychic type of quote unquote, but really a vibrational way. I believe this is what happens with a lot of animals that we just don't realize because we're not as tuned into it as they are. So I hope that explained. Look for this class that I'm going to do. I'm going to be posting it about in a week, but this week, this Friday, this Friday night, I'm doing a class on reopening the third eye for beginners. A lot of you signed up. You can sign up all the way up to about an hour and a half before the class, and sign up will be closed. So this will be a Friday night class. I'm still offering the 50% off of all my readings with the code PEACE. And you can follow me on Instagram, where I post a lot of stuff, and comment below and let me know what you think about this whole video and what your experience are with with your animals. I'd love to hear it. I like to hear back from you guys. Follow yourself, follow no one, listen to that inner voice, and I'll see you soon.